Okay, so what the whole purpose of this is to hold myself accountable. Here's the thing. I put it out there into the universe. And I think the act of putting something out into the universe is really what the strength is. We're all really good at helping other people to do and achieve their goals. But when it comes to our own goals, we totally don't know how to follow through and do that stuff, or at least I don't. And I will tell you how surprised I am that this actually made me feel like I had something I was supposed to be accountable for. And well, hi, it looks like somebody's here. I appreciate you being here. At the beginning part of when I do this, I'm always very awkward because it feels very strange to potentially be talking to people. So what I'm doing is I'm finding a way to hold myself accountable, and I'm keeping track of my goals. And really what could potentially happen is I could find a community here and I can find a way to build connection. And I guess that's the thing that we're all kind of looking for. I think that's really essentially what social media is, isn't it? Is it's trying to find connections to people. I will tell you honestly, scared shitless, didn't really want to do this, but I did it. And so right here, right now, I'm going to commit to do another live this time next week. Also, I am sharing it on my little YouTube channel. I got 15 views last week. Probably 14 of them were me. Yeah, but whatever, who cares? But I think that by making it public, it motivated me. It's holding me to keep to my word because I've put it out there into the world. And really what I am doing is I'm developing my discipline muscle. And I think that that's the muscle that I need the most help with. And it was really crazy, even though I know nobody's going to be here. And even though like this is really just an exercise of discipline, it's worked. And if I end up creating a small community for myself here, I would be eternally grateful for that. That would be wonderful. So today I will tell you the 3 things that I was supposed to do were pretty easy, essentially. One of them was to drink a big glass of water before I had my coffee every morning. And I know that that doesn't sound like all that much of an accomplishment, but for me it is, because the truth is I really love my coffee and I want to drink my coffee first thing in the morning. I don't want to have a big glass of water first thing in the morning. I want to have a coffee. But this week I disciplined myself and I had my water. And really what I did was I take a supplement, and it's a great supplement, and it actually makes my brain function in a way. And I swear by this supplement, and I don't take it every single day. But now that I've said this and committed myself to it, every single day this week, I took my supplement before I had my coffee. So check. Success for that. That's like all bells and yay, yay, yay. I totally did it. Number 2 that I was supposed to do. Oh no, my number 1 was that I was supposed to come back and do this live video. I'm doing it. Yay, success. Okay. You know, I considered not doing it because what purpose does it serve? I mean, I'm not going to disappoint anybody, but I would disappoint myself. And so the fact that I showed up is me showing up for me. So yay, good for me. And you know, occasionally somebody's here. Who's it? It's Chelsea. Hi, Chelsea. I'm just doing this weird live thing to hold myself accountable to achieve my goals. And it's weirdly working because I feel like I've always needed an accountability buddy. And in the beginning of the year, we always have like bros and sisters and husbands and people that will do that with us. But then within 3 or 4 days, they fall off the bandwagon. And so I'm just holding myself accountable. My intention is to do it. See how I preface that with the words, my intention? That right there is giving me a way out of doing what I say I'm going to do. But so I'm on week number 2, doing a live video on a Thursday. But if you'd like to join, oh, what's this? Invites me to co-host. I mean, I don't know what that, should I do it? What the hell? Hi.
Hello.
Hi. I don't know you. Who are you?
My name is Sahil.
Where are you located on this great planet? I'm in Mexico.
I am Pakistan.
You're in Pakistan?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Hi.
Clap, 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 clap.
Clap, clap, yes.
My friend.
Hello. Hi. So crazy. So who's this? I'm just going to say, yeah, okay. So now there's 3 of us on here. Do you speak English?
I do not in the.
Hello guys, how are you?
Okay. I'm going to hang up. Okay. Oh, yeah, no. Okay, so that was weird. It was kind of weird and kind of awesome all at the same time. Well, that's interesting. That was just neat having some random person do weird sexual gestures towards me over from another part of the world. But whatever, that's cool. All right, well, that completely distracted me. So I don't know that I'll do that again. Well, yeah, sure I will. Why the hell not, right? All right, so back to what I did for the week. I was supposed to, what is it? Oh, yeah. I didn't achieve my goal this time. I was supposed to do 5 hours of Spanish, but I didn't do 5 hours of Spanish. I did 4 hours of Spanish. Actually, it was 3 hours and 45 minutes, if I can be entirely honest. 3 hours and 45 minutes is a good start. I'm still going to keep the goal of 5 hours. So there's two things that are interesting to me about my Spanish. Thing number one is that it makes me very tired because I'm not clicking. My brain doesn't click, and I find it extremely difficult to do the Spanish. On day one, I did it for 30 minutes. And oh my God, it just sucked all the energy out of me because the Spanish is hard for my brain. I know this is going to sound like an excuse for why I don't do Spanish, but I don't really have anywhere comfortable in my home to do Spanish. So I need to get a desk because I need a desk so that I don't have the excuse that I'm uncomfortable taking my Spanish. So I did my water, my live, 3 hours and 45 minutes. And I started my website, and that was really hard also. So I've actually been spending 8 to 10 hours a day working on this website. I've never made a website before. I asked ChatGPT to give me the breakdown of all the different types of places that you can create a website. And what I landed on was Wix. I bought the tier 2 level. I bought the core level of Wix. What I'm finding two different things about it. Thing number one, well, first I should tell you, I'm not super duper technically savvy. I'm learning, I'm getting there. Even doing these lives is a version of, I'm proud of myself that I can do it. But trying to build this website is a little bit challenging for me. My brain doesn't think technically. I'm using ChatGPT to help guide me in how to use Wix. But what I'm also finding, it gives me 55 things that I'm supposed to do. And in those 55 things, I really only need to accomplish 3. And it overwhelms me because ChatGPT is a genius machine. It lists everything under the sun that you want to get done in order to have your website done. But you can only do one thing at a time. But ChatGPT doesn't understand that. So I've explained to ChatGPT that I am a human being, that it overwhelms my brain when it tells me all of the 55 things that I have to do. And it just needs to give me a step-by-step guide as to how I work on one page at a time. But what I've also noticed is that sometimes your own instinct is also valuable. And so when I start to get a little bit overwhelmed by ChatGPT, I just stop using it. Because also, ChatGPT is an incredible, how can it even exist already in this world? But it's a tool, and it isn't always right. It'll tell me how to use things on Wix, but it'll use different language than what is actually visible. And so what I find happens is ChatGPT will guide me to do something, but then when you're looking for it on Wix, you can't see it anywhere on the page, and then it makes your head want to explode. So what I've learned is that I get the foundation from ChatGPT, then I go in and I try to use my own human instinct when I'm using the website, because the website's been designed for humans, right? And I tend to get a little bit further ahead if I read what ChatGPT tells me, but then I go ahead and just use my own instinct. So it's kind of a balance. You have to sort of figure out how to use ChatGPT. It isn't just an automatic thing, right? I am not finished the website. I think that I'm going to need probably 2 more days and I will have my website done. So by this time next week, I am going to have my website. I'm going to put it up on TikTok, and you guys will be able to see the website that I made myself on Wix. Something else that I did this week that was unexpected, I was invited to join a writer's workshop, and I did it. I'm excited about that. My writer's workshop is every Monday. It's a small group. They're professional writers, and I am not a professional writer, but I could see myself wanting to go down that direction. I was invited by one of the amazing writers who interviewed my husband and I when we first came to Mexico. And so I joined a group with her, and I finished my article that I'm supposed to do. We were supposed to write something about our life for 800 to 1,000 words, and I've done that. So I'm ready for Monday, and I'm really happy for that. I see that there's somebody here. Who's this? Let me see. Oh, hi, Diana. I appreciate you being here. Do you have a goal for this week that you want to be held accountable for? Who are these? I'm going to say hi. I'm going to say hi. Hi. I'm saying hi, I think. I have to learn. Oh, maybe that's something else I can do. Okay, so for this week, I'm going to continue to work on getting up to 5 hours a week on Spanish. I'm going to continue with drinking my water before I have my coffee. By this time next week, I will be sharing my website, and I hope it's good. And then what else? I need to learn how to use TikTok Live so that I can engage with people. So that's another one of my goals. And I think the other thing that I'm going to do is I need to have our business cards ordered by this time next week. Okay, so another thing that I just want to talk about that is, I think, worth noting, since it's a pretty significant thing that's happened on our planet, the attack on Venezuela and how awful that is. What I want to say is two things. I want to acknowledge what happened and recognize that it is something that we can't just pretend isn't going on in the world. And that I do think it's important that we stay aware of what's happening in our world and in our society around us. I feel like such a piece of shit when I'm talking about how I want to create my own life and I want to create my goals and do all of these wonderful things for myself in 2026. And there's an entire world that is like getting bombed. And, you know, how do you navigate that? That's a challenge. It is a challenge. It's a challenge for me. And I don't want to sit here and pretend like I'm worth somehow any level of anything, but I am to myself, right? And so there is a balance that one has to create in order to keep my own sanity. I have to figure out a way to balance watching and observing and being a part of what's going on in society and having a voice and caring about the fact that people are getting bombed in the world, caring about the fact that ICE raids are happening in my country. And so I have to care about it, but I also can't get weighted down by it because there's really, what can I do? So something else I need to work on is implementing my own spiritual practices, because it's spiritual practices that will help me move forward, right? And it's spiritual practices that will help me keep my head on straight. I do think it's interesting that there is an element of being a white privileged woman who has that privilege to choose my own life over what's going on in the world. I just wanted to acknowledge that. I recognize, how do I sit here and think that what I have to say is worth anything when there are a lot of other things going on in the world? And that's it. That's all I wanted to do. That's it. I think that's all I'm going to share today. I think it's a little bit less scary than it was last week. Last week was a lot scarier for me. I think that I'm figuring out what the purpose of me doing this is. I do hope that eventually somebody will come on and that you will hold yourself accountable and that you will set goals and that you and I can check in with each other at the end of the week. I think that just saying it out loud is extremely beneficial, and I hope that we can take advantage of that together.